Well, the University of Mississippi has such a conflicted past with respect to race relations. We were the unfortunate center of one of the worst incidents in the history of the South in the desegregation of institutions of higher learning when James Meredith attempted to enroll here in 1962.
Governor, this is the President speaking. Yes, sir. Now, I know that your feeling about the law of Mississippi and the fact that you don't want to carry out that court order. What do you really want to do?
President, please, why don't you, can't you give an order to remove Mayor?
How can I remove him, Governor, when there's a riot in the street and he may step out of that building and something happen to him? I can't remove him under those conditions.
Tell him that a reporter for the London Daily Sketch, whose name is Paul Gehard, was killed in Oxford just now. His body was found with a bullet in the back next to a women's dormitory.
In the intervening years, however, there has been a recognition of the singular responsibility to provide leadership in the field of racial reconciliation.
Since his service as governor, William Winter has been an advocate, a proponent, a spokesman, a courageous person who stood up for the basic fundamental principle of respect for the individual.
The Institute is available to assist communities in helping them solve their own problems, their own racial problems, and we've been doing that. We've been in a number of communities all over the state of Mississippi. We are available to go into any community that desires an honest broker.
Well, let me ask you this, Ms. Glisson. What do you do, your Institute for Racial Reconciliation? How do you go about attempting to bring racial reconciliation to pass?
It has to start with individual relationships, personal relationships built over time. That is how the Philadelphia Coalition that instituted the call for justice last year that helped bring about this trial, that is how they began to work.
With firm resolve and strong belief in the rule of law, we call on the appropriate authorities to make every effort to seek justice in this case.
We deplore the possibility that history will record that the state of Mississippi and this community in particular did not make a good faith effort.
We are also cognizant of the shameful involvement and interference of state government, including actions of the State Sovereignty Commission in thwarting justice in this case.
I never thought that there was a group of people in the town that I love that cared so much about it that they wanted to see a difference. And they were willing to sacrifice themselves, their time, and time is a major sacrifice sometimes. And even relationships on jobs.
Really, even just did an excellent job. And I know all the hard work we did, it paid off.
But in the event that I needed to say something, I always felt like I could say it and that it be respected in the manner in which I said it. So it's really...
See, I was the mayor, and her comment was, "Where's the dark cloud over Philadelphia?" She said, "I've seen nothing but sunshine in Philadelphia, Mississippi."
Yes, I am happy to be a member of this coalition, and yesterday was a great day.
It begins with personal relationships, but then it must build toward policy. It must build toward dismantling institutional racism that continues to exist in this country, and especially here in Mississippi.
If we don't do something and work towards improving a public school system, we failed. Andrew Goodman, James Chaney, and Mickey Warner. If we don't do like Kenny said and encourage people to register and to vote and participate in the electoral process, we failed those three men.
And I do agree that what we do next actually proves the point. We made a statement. Now we got to back it up.
This can establish something that we can continue to have here in Philadelphia, in Neshoba County, in Mississippi, in America, and in the world. And I'm just happy. Thank you.
Little Red has a sentimental value as well as a educational foundation to most of the families through the last 3 or 4 generations here in Drew Air. It was the only school at one time for blacks here. Many of the people who went to school during their childhood don't want to see this building go away. They wanted to always serve the purpose for which it served for them. The Winter Institute has been instrumental, and they've just been wonderful. They've been instrumental in everything, all of the meetings and resources. After the work started on the exterior, it brought about a sense of hope, and everybody wanted to know what's the next thing that's going to be done, when we're going to get in, when we're going to do this. So it sort of like energized the community.
There's so many things that the Institute have done on behalf of the Rome community, for the Rome youth, for the people of Rome. Even before the center began, William Wynne Institute was involved. When we obtained the sewer system, I mean, they was pushing, writing letters, whatever they could do, they did it. They was fighting for us. We didn't have to fight all this by ourselves. They made a lot of things happen. Many of these books, these cabinets and all of this here came by way of the William Wynne Institute, and we're so grateful for that. They didn't hold back anything, and I mean, they used their resources, they used their skills, their ability, everything they had. They really went to bat for us, and they really hit a home run.
This is indeed a turning point, I believe, for Mississippi, and a turning point for the world. Because guess what? The world has been holding their breath for this day.
I believe that the Emmett Till case really jump-started the civil rights movement. It certainly was one of the real important events in that history. And we need to preserve the history. We need our children and our grandchildren to know about what really happened.
I was born and raised 5 miles northeast of the Sumner Courthouse, and when I was coming up on the plantation, and also after I started high school and come out of high school and went on to the United States Marine Corps and come back home, people just didn't talk about the Emmett Till case, white or black. And now it's bringing this community together, but also making the world aware that some things have changed. We still got a long ways to go here in Tallahatchie County and the Delta of Mississippi. But things have changed, and also it's getting a chance to this community to tell the right story.
We, the citizens of Tallahatchie County, recognize that the Emmett Till case was a terrible miscarriage of justice.
One of the things that is important to me is establishing some real communication between black people and white people in Tallahatchie County. And you know, you'd think this many years after the schools have supposedly been integrated and restaurants and all that, that we would be in dialogue. But we aren't, certainly not in these little small towns or to any real extent as human beings. So I think having a biracial board like this that's talking about something important to the community is a great step forward and really important, and I hope that we can develop more of that. The Wynne Institute has been, I think, instrumental, helping us work through the process of working together as a commission.
They have played a significant part in this, in helping us get this organized and getting it together. I just thank them so much for that.
To move forward together on the healing, the wound of the past.
We are the people that we've been waiting for. From the moment I walked into the door, the William Wynne Institute of Racial Reconciliation made me think about my own emancipation. How could I be free? Free enough to free people like me, a people restrained and contained, so many slain, only to rise again like a phoenix from the ashes of history's shame. In order to make a brighter way, we have to reconcile the wrongs of yesterday, and that's what I gained. It was plain to see that I was in the company of people willing to right these wrongs, people willing to bring to the light the forgotten names, bring to justice the perpetrators of destruction in order to foster a true community. Their struggle was shown to me, and it was much appreciated. I was glad for the honor, for the chance to give back, educate the youth because they are the future, learn from the old because they hold the knowledge. Oral histories told, shared across racial lines, across generations. I witnessed this type of magic performed firsthand, and somehow I became more of a man when I realized that we are the people that we've been waiting for.